While back, I found this nasty, warped, cracked piece of wood. Wasn't sure the species at the time. Later, I'll figure out it was oak. Golf course near my house, when they do any trimming, they'll take the wood and put it out by the side of the road and put a free sign up. I think they meant this wood for firewood, but I have a serious wood habit, so I like to go bargain shopping in other people's dumpsters. Really never know what you're going to find. Sometimes you'll find a wormy, termitey piece. Other times you'll find maple, oak, unknown species. It's like a box of chocolates. I saw this piece. I had a feeling might be something I could polish up. So this is the story of how I made a bowl out of this nasty piece of wood. I've done a lot of these logs, so I know that there's a lot I'm going to have to dodge. So there's some cracks and chainsaw marks. My plan is try to find the bowl within here, draw a circle, take it over to the bandsaw, remove everything that's not a bowl, make it easier for the lathe. Then I got to try and finagle a bowl out of this, find a spot. I'm just going to rough turn it first, then I'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll finish it after it dries. So we're heading over to the bandsaw. I'm going to mount this with the worm screw. Mounting it like this with the lathe running used to scare the crap out of me, but I kind of like it now. This piece looks like it's in pretty good shape, but as I start to dig into it, I'm going to start to uncover some nastiness. There's always little surprises lurking inside. I'm going to start with my big bowl gouge, try to true it up, make it turn round, seeing what I can find, seeing if I can uncover anything inside of here. Side trued up real nice. Now the bottom needs to be squared up. Just going to go over it. This wood is very green and it's just cutting like butter. Off camera, I marked the depth for a tenon that I can use to flip it around and attach the chuck to it. Tenon roughed in. I'm going to move back to the side and try to, that's got a really sharp angle there. I'm going to try and make that more smooth, make it more round. Something resembling a bowl, just a rough edge. As I continue to remove material and create something resembling a bowl here, I start to uncover some issues within this log. There are some cracks at the end grain. I've got some problems. There's a split. So I'm going to try at this point to just stabilize it with some CA glue. I recorded this back in mid to late March, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to put CA glue on it, let it dry, and let the cards fall where they may. It might come out. It might not. I don't know. Once the CA glue's set up, I'm going to take it out of the worm chuck with the worm screw, and I'm going to flip it around, use that tenon that I put on it to hollow it out and shape the inside. With it flipped around in reverse chuck, I'm going to true up the top a little bit, then I'm going to commence hollowing it out. I'm not going to go very far. I want to leave a lot of meat into this because this piece is very wet and I'm afraid it's going to move. So I'm just really removing just enough that it'll help it dry, but not so much that if it warps a lot, I can't cut something out of it, a bowl-shaped object at least. Remember, this is a rough turn, so just get enough material out of there to help it dry faster. So here I'm going to knock the nub out. Not really sure why I did that. And then I'm going to switch to the carbide. I think Past Todd kind of forgot that this was a rough turn and he's starting to head towards, finishing this. I mean, I wish Past Todd was as smart as Future Todd, because Future Todd is a genius. But I'm going to cut these out a little bit, and then I'm going to remember, oh yeah, it's a rough turn. And I'm going to add some more CA glue to clean those cracks up. There is the big crack right there. That one is a problem, and we're going to have to deal with that once the unit dries. I don't know what'll happen, if there'll be more, and a little foreshadow, there will be. Okay, the audio cut out. He's all set. We've got him out of the chuck. I've had some CA glue. Now I'm going to take him upstairs for the drying tent. We're going to let it sit up there for a few months and let it dry out, then we'll bring it back down. So we'll return when it's done drying. Okay, fast forward to July. The set has changed. I've been doing a little work there. And I've gone from 13% moisture content to 6%. I'm going to take the chuck and I'm going to expand it into the mouth of the bowl and true up the backside because I got nothing to grab onto. It is a total oval. It warped, it cracked. It's kind of a mess. I don't know at this point if it's going to come out or not. That writing in the bottom of the bowl is bothering me. I'm glad that Past Todd decided to clean this up for me because it was kind of driving me a little crazy here looking at it, and I think it was doing the same to him. So I'll clean that bottom up a little bit, and then we're going to flip it around so we can begin hollowing. This blank kind of turned itself into knots when it dried, so the inside and the outside weirdly didn't shrink or expand it the same way. The cracks got a little bit bigger. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to have to reduce the height. I've got some severe cracks on the top. I think I can salvage it. I'm going to do my best. So first thing to do is remove the height so that I can go past those cracks, get into some material that's going to be more stable and not come flying off and hit a camera or worse, hit me in the snot line. So here's a good look of the cracks that I'm dealing with here. So I'm trying to reduce this down. You see, it's pretty nasty right there. That's a deep one, and I've already removed about half of that crack. Okay, I think I've hit solid wood. I still have a little bit of stuff in there. Nothing too bad, nothing I can't just fill in. I'm not that worried about it. After all, this was firewood. There's one or two little cracks you're never going to notice when we're done. So I'm happy. I've got a piece here. It's not really a bowl. It's kind of more of a dish, which is kind of the way my videos have been going the last couple of weeks when I've been doing these weird pieces. So we've reduced this side down. We're going to have to now try to hollow it out and create something resembling a dish or a bowl. So my plan here now is to reverse chuck it again. So I'm going to put a tenon or it's more of an inset into here so that I can expand the chuck into this and it'll run true because the back side is not going to match the front side. So put that tenon in there, give me a nice flat spot that I can register against because I need to turn the outside because the inside and the outside were so off and it kind of turned in such a weird manner that I really couldn't get a true bowl on the other side. So create myself something I can grab onto. Then we're going to flip it around and do the final shaping for the other side. And with the recess cut, we're going to flip it around and expand the mouth of the chuck into that recess. Assuming Past Todd can turn the handle the right way, eventually he'll figure it out. He's a bright guy, well, sometimes. And now that we've got this, we can turn it again and have the inside and the outside running true and have an even shape. And finally, we're past all the warping that's happened and we're ready to commence finishing this bowl up. Now this is something I've been working on. When I'm coming across that bottom to the side of the bowl, I've been cutting that angle too sharp, so I get a point in there where the bowl gets very thick and I can't clear the inside out, and I'm really not happy with it. I want a more fluid motion or a more fluid side. So this is something that I've been working on, and I think this bowl was the first one that I really came up with one that I kind of like, and it's in the ballpark of the way I think it should be. I'm going to drill for my little token. Then I'm going to move to fixing the foot. Now, when it was a weirdly shaped, oblong, wavy bowl that had dried funny, I needed a really nice thick foot, but I don't need that anymore, and I don't think this looks well. I think it's just too thick. So I'm going to reduce this foot a little bit, maybe a little more later on, trying to come up with a proportion, because I think I like this bowl, and I like how it's going to come out, and I want all the proportions to be just right. The oak is a very open grain, so I got a little tear out and it's not very smooth. So I'm going to take a skew chisel on its side and treat it as a negative rake scraper and try to clear up some of this and try to reduce the amount of sanding I have to do. After the scraping, I'm going to sand it starting at 120 all the way up to 320. With the outside sanding finally done, I'm going to flip it around once again. I flipped this piece a lot, and I'm going to mount it in the Nova chuck. The foot was a little too small for the one way, so I'm going to drop down one level to the Nova chuck. And as you can see, the walls are a little bit thick, and the bottom is thick. I'm going to reduce these guys down and give myself a nice bowl with a nice shape. Wall thickness getting down to about where I want it. Bottom is still a little thick. I'm not going too thin on the walls because I have those cracks and I don't want to push my luck. I really love the way this bowl is coming out, and I think it's going to be very useful and practical piece, considering it was effectively garbage or firewood before I got it, that it will have a second life and it will be used. I really like. So I'm thinning out that bottom, I'm thinning out the walls. I'm going to have to eventually switch here to the carbides because I can't get the big bowl gouge around that corner. The walls are getting close to where I want them, but the bottom is still too thick. And I've got a bit of a dip in the bottom that I don't really like, so I'm going to have to flatten that out. I'm a little worried that I'm going to go through because I drilled out for that token on the bottom, and that Foster bit has that little spur drive on it, and sometimes those can poke through, so I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to hit that. I don't know if that's going to be an issue now, but I'm taking my time, and I want that position, especially when I go from the flat bottom into the sides. I don't want that to be too thick, and that's where I've been working, and that's where on the other side I kind of ease that transition to make it more fluid. So in this case here, I'm working it slowly, trying to get that same fluid motion on the inside. So I'm just rocking back and forth with the tool, trying to swing that back of the tool out and then come back the other direction so I get that nice curve, that fluid curve across there. So very slowly, just back and forth, rocking. Very monotonous as I do this, but it's going to give me that nice shape that I'm looking for. I'm comfortable with the internal shape, so I'm going to switch to my negative rake scraper, my curved one. I can't use this Q-chisel for this because of the curve on the inside. I can't go around it. So I'm going to very lightly move through this. There's just a little bit of tool marks to clean up. That grain is kind of open. You can hear when I get to the edge there, to the rim, it gets sounds a little thin. That high pitch right there, that pitch. That's a little bit that's getting thin. It's also, some of it is the cracks, but I'm going in a fluid motion back and forth, giving me that curve, cleaning up any issues. Now that we finished with the cleanup, we're going to move on, and I'm going to sand the inside from 120 grit to 320 grit, and we're getting close to the end on this one. Final sanding, I switched to a hand sanding, 320 grit. I don't know why I didn't do power sanding. I just felt like hand sanding. So I'm going to go in here, get this cleaned up a little bit with the 320 grit. I'm really not taking a lot off. It's more of a polish than it is a sand. But I'm really liking the way this came out. Now we're going to move on, and we are going to add some Waterlux satin. I'm going to add a couple of thin coats to this, then eventually we'll flip it around and put some more on the bottom. There's some spalting or some staining you can see in the bottom. I'm not sure what that is. There's also some on the outside. I love how it works. There's a large amount of figure in this wood. That spalting I really like. The figure is really coming up. I really do like oak. It's one of my favorites. I say that every time. But this one came out way better than I expected for, a block of wood I found out in a field in late March. Okay, the next day, I put 2 coats of Waterlux satin on this. Now I need to, once again, flip it around. I've reversed this one a lot. I'm a little bit worried that the chalk is going to mar the edges, and I'm really, really loving this bowl, so I don't want to risk any changes. So I'm going to put some blue tape on the outside, then we're going to flip it around, put it into the mega jaws for the one-way, and we'll start finishing the foot. So now that I've reversed it once again, I think the foot is still too thick. I want to be reduced. I know I'm flying too close to the sun here. I'm risking combing through the bottom, but I love this bowl and I want the dimensions to be just right. And right now, I think the foot is too thick. So I'm going to reduce that foot, and then I'm going to make the token a little bit deeper, and hopefully then we'll switch to sanding and we'll be done. Okay, I managed to make the foot just a little bit smaller. I am really loving this bowl, and I want the dimensions to be just right. So I managed to reduce down the foot a little bit and make the token a little bit deeper. Now I'm going to lightly hand sand from 120 to 320, and then we will add 2 coats of Waterlux satin, and we will almost be done with this piece. Here we go. This one is a wrap. I have that stain on the inside, not sure what it is. I don't think it's spalting. I think something got into the tree. You can see it's there on the side. I've got some nice figure into here. My crack has been filled. There's still some there, but I filled it with CA glue and it's completely stabilized. So we go to the other side. You can kind of see there's a little bit of spalting on that side. There's a little bit of figure, and then you can see how the stain went right through it. The tree, it sucked it right through, went through the tree. I just find this fascinating. Wood turning, again, like a box of chocolates, never know what you're gonna get. Depending when this video is released, and I shoot them in advance, so it's hard to predict. It might be the week of my birthday. So my wife added a birthday bird to the first bowl. Gotta love it. Now we can see the staining. There's a little bit in the side that I showed you earlier, and there's a bit of a crack that I filled. On the inside, it went right through the grain. The tree sucked that stain right through it. Then on the other side, you see some more on the outside, and you can see the crack. This is one of my favorite projects. I love this for something I found at the side of the road. I love salvaging wood. I'm really happy with this. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you.